Would you rather be a famous artist or a famous athlete?
I would rather be a famous athlete.
See, that's funny you say that because I'd rather be a famous artist.
Ooh.
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 Audio.
Welcome to Second Saturday, the podcast where every day feels like a weekend.
This is episode 2, and I'm Ainsley.
And I'm Jen.
We figured that after our first episode, you got to know us a little bit, but we're going to go a little more in depth of some of our favorites and just some more fun, quirky things and less like super personal. But first, when we were first discussing how we wanted to make our intro and just different aspects to our podcast, we used ChatGPT to come up with a intro for a mother-daughter podcast, and this is what it came up with for us.
We printed it off, and so we're gonna read it to you like ChatGPT printed it out.
Yeah.
So do you want me to start with the brackets?
Yeah.
Okay. So intro music, upbeat and cheerful with a touch of playfulness. Welcome to Second Saturday, the podcast where every day feels like a weekend and every topic is fair game.
That's right. I'm Ainsley, your expert on all things trendy and the daughter who occasionally questions if mom's fashion choices are from this century.
And I'm Mom. I'm Jen, here to prove that fashionably late is just a way of staying eternally youthful. Or at least that's what I keep telling myself.
Together, we're like the ultimate weekend duo. I bring the latest memes, and mom brings the life advice with a side of embarrassing stories.
We'll be talking about everything from the latest social media crazes to those everyday moments that make life hilarious and unpredictable.
So, whether you're lounging on your own second Saturday or just looking for a good laugh, we've got you covered.
Let's dive in and make every
second
Saturday feel a bit brighter.
Oh, I messed that end up, but
Let's try it one more time.
let's dive in
and make every Saturday feel a little bit brighter.
brighter. There we go. That was the fun little intro that Chat GPT gave us, and it was quite nice. We liked it, but I don't know. Like we probably could have tweaked it a bit. We
Uh,
took the first line, I think, like our "Welcome to Second Saturday," the podcast where every day feels like a weekend. That we took that bit because we really like that.
but questionable mom's fashion choices. I don't think I look horrible.
No, that's why I think it's like. Do you think I have any fashion sense?
Oh God, no. If anybody does not have fashion sense between the two of us, it's totally Ainsley.
Yeah, you definitely have more of a fashion sense than I do. I
Yeah.
kind of dress for comfort, and if I have to dress up for a special occasion, I have to go shopping because I have no fancy clothes.
Her colors and pattern choices when she puts outfits together. Okay, backstory. Seems we always have a backstory. Backstory. So when Ainsley was in, well, it's about when kids get about grade 4. Grade 4, they want to start to do their own hair. That's generally when you see like little kids who have like long, beautiful hair. They start to have their hair cut short because A, they're in charge of combing it, so you don't. It's a hot mess. We should definitely show a photo someday of Ainsley's like her her school pictures throughout the years because ooh, you'll definitely know when she hits that stage.
Yeah, there's
Um,
some rough years in there.
it was. And so and then they start picking out their own outfits, you know, those first couple of years, man, all those outfits look so good. That's because the parents are picking them and then they branch out on their own. And honest to God, like Ainsley would have like pastels with like neon colors beside it. She would have a striped shirt on with like a patterned polka dot pant, one yellow and one purple sock. Like it
Yeah.
was a hot mess. And I can remember as a parent, I decided that the days that Ainsley actually put herself together, I would be like, "Oh, Ainsley, I love your outfit today." And I would say something like, "Why? Oh, like, you know, this top matches blah blah. You look really, really good." I never it was very far and few that I threw out that compliment, but I just most of the days I'm like, "Oh, you're dressed. Okay,
Yep.
let's
Hey,
go with that." So if the two
self-sufficient.
of us, you're the one with the poor
I
fashion.
am. I think as of this like past year, I think I've gotten a little bit better when I actually like Like also, if I'm just at home, I'm just gonna dress. It's not gonna look pretty because I just want to be comfy and like I'm not going out anywhere. But like when I go to school and stuff, I actually try to put like outfits together, and I think I've kind of found my style more
Yes.
this year. So I have improved. But if you see me just at my house, I'm still
Oh
that
dear God.
little like 9-year-old.
Right? I agree. You definitely have now found a sense of fashion, thank goodness. But and of course, who
Yeah.
has sense of fashion when they're 4 years old, like, or
Yeah.
in grade four, from grade four to like I want to say like
Probably grade
first year
6 or 7.
university,
Oh,
no fashion sense.
yeah.
I mean, I to say not to say that like I mean, you looked good, you looked
You can
fine.
tell when you stopped picking out my picture day outfits.
Yeah, totally tell, totally tell when it's like you're in charge of doing your own hair.
Yeah.
It's hard as a mom to let go of those things. Just saying, it's hard. But listen, it's a rite of passage. Everybody gets there. So, yeah, and yeah, when Ainsley's at home, she a hot mess when it comes to her
Yeah,
fashion
but like,
choices.
yeah, I just put on, I have like 3 pairs of the same pants, and then I'll just put on any t-shirt because I'm like, I don't care. I'll probably end up doing something where I'm gonna get dirty anyways.
Right? And I mean, not me. I want to get my outfit on, like not that it's an outfit, but I want to get like a nice shirt, my jeans on, whatever to start my day. I can
For work, you have some pretty questionable outfits at home as well. I have seen you in some very interesting looking sweatpants and shirt situations.
well, it also depends on like how many times in a week I've done laundry. If I haven't done laundry much, they get more questionable. That's just the way that that rolls. So,
That was me
and
about last week when I
right.
didn't have any laundry done.
Also, I have to like wear work attire for my job too. So
Even though she works in an office by herself,
by myself.
no one ever sees her.
Right. So, but I still have to have work attire on, which is fine. I love to dress up. So yeah,
Yeah,
when
I
I'm
think that's
home,
probably my problem. I've never had a job where I've had to dress accordingly. Well, like I guess my well even my co-op this summer, you should have seen how they dressed. Like no one cared, no one cared at all. But like I've always worked at the lodge where it's work clothes, and then I worked at Domino's, so I had an outfit. And then at my job at school, we have like we have a shirt we have to wear, but then it's kind of just like gym wear. Like you're not allowed to wear jeans, even if you're an employee type thing. So I've never had a job where I actually have to like own a wardrobe to look suitable.
and truthfully, when we own the lodge, like the hair was thrown back in my ponytail, which I used to not call it a hairdo. I called it a hair don't. We're in the heart of summer right now, and it is ridiculously hot. So yeah, my hair is in a ponytail right now. Once it cools off, I'll actually try to style it because if not, it just frizzes out like crazy. So she's thrown back in a ponytail. But when we own the lodge, like you just threw on stuff because you never knew if you were cleaning a cabin, if you were trying to haul a boat out of the water, like if you had to change the bottom, like a prop in the thing, like in the motor, you had no idea what you're doing. You might be hauling luggage, you might be hauling wood. So it was always just like rough
Outfits weren't
outerwear.
outfits weren't like even if there were guests, like even with guests in camp, like you didn't they didn't care. They were doing not like they were dressed fancy either way. Anyways, they were on a fishing trip, but it was very much just put on what you can, which is what I do now too because I've worked at a lodge, a different like not ours, but a different lodge for the last 4 summers. So I just they have like their own shirts that they sell that they give us, but I also just wear old t-shirts and like track pants because I'm cleaning cabins, but I also don't know what else I'll get into or how dirty things will be. And the same at home. At home, like the other day, I actually put on a nice outfit, and then I had to help my dad haul stuff, and my clothes were very dirty. And I was like, well, this is why I don't put together an outfit at home because now my clothes. I had a white shirt on, and I was like, of course, I had to move things when I had a white shirt on.
Well, and this is also coming from a man who would literally leave a wedding in a tux and immediately get out of the truck to change the oil.
Yeah,
So yeah, I
and
get that.
you know what? I don't think no one in our house really has a fashion sense. Like you look good for work, but like my dad doesn't have a fashion sense. My brother has gone through different waves of fashion. I think he looks reasonable, like he just wears a shirt and jeans, but my dad definitely does not have a fashion style. So I might
But
get that
listen,
from him.
we're also getting older too, so it's always comfort
Well, he has never
over
had a
style.
fashion. He has never been, had any sort of style. He wears the same pants and the same shirt.
And what about you guys out there? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, do your better halves or other halves, do they dress for comfort or do they dress for style? It's debatable. Let us know.
Like maybe I mean there's a good chance I'll probably dress comfy every time we do these, but I'll put together an outfit every now and then just so you guys can see that there's more than just comfort.
I'm looking forward to cooler weather where I can actually have my hair down and I don't just look like this bald, frizzied, crazy woman. I'll look like a crazy woman with nice hair.
A controlled
A
crazy.
controlled crazy,
It's
that's
like
for
a
sure.
organized mess.
Organized mess, right? Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, so anyways, we kind of our little AI intro.
Yeah. It
Um,
was fun.
it
It was
was
the
fun.
first thing that popped up and it was amazing.
We
So
laughed.
we had to snatch that and show it to you guys. But we're gonna get back to our would you rather question.
Yeah, so
Um,
you would rather be an athlete.
yeah, I think maybe because like I have done sports my whole life. Oh, someone's getting a phone call. Someone did not put their phone on mute.
That's a hard no. Um, that's a hard no.
Yeah. Um, anyways, I'd rather be an athlete. I think that well, I've played sports my whole life, but like I know you can make history both ways, but I think it would just be really cool to make history in some way as an athlete and kind of be known for that. Like obviously with music, like your music, you can probably have a longer career, but there's a lot of highs and lows for both, but I just think that it'd be really cool to be an athlete where like everyone like wants your number or your jersey and like things like that. Like I can see both sides of it, but I just think that it'd be really cool to be an athlete because a lot of people would aspire to like be like you. Not that they wouldn't for a musician or an artist or anything, but
See, I'm surprised. I thought for sure you were going to say artist. But I can see how you talk about like your brand because obviously athletes generally create a brand and that's what you're selling, right? But I really didn't. I did not see that coming for a million miles
yeah,
that
I
you
just
picked.
I just think it'd be really cool. Like I think it'd be different. Like I think as an artist, well, you can take artists anywhere. Like I'm thinking like a singer. That's my how I'm thinking of an artist. We all know I can't sing, but I think I don't know. I think I just would like to be an athlete because I think well also another thing is there's a lot of people especially nowadays that they get famous for one thing and then boom they're making music. They think they're a musician. Blah blah blah. Like almost every person who gets really famous from a TV show or a lot of YouTubers now, all of a sudden they're making music and their music is blah blah blah. Blah. Where I do think it takes more skill and time and effort to become a really good athlete because there's a lot of help on both sides, but with music and stuff like that, like you do have a lot of other people doing work for you. Yeah, I guess that's just how I think about that.
Yeah, and
I understand why you chose
yeah,
artist.
I chose an artist just for the longevity of it. Like, I mean, and my thoughts is more as I'm getting older, I'm like, you get hurting more. So if you're an athlete, you're probably going to start feeling your aches and pains way sooner than the average Joe. And generally, athletic careers are pretty short. Although I wouldn't mind that. Maybe I could just get in there, make my money, do my thing, get out, and then retire. But I think an
You can
artist,
retire and be a golfer.
right? Then I could be an athlete. But I just, yeah, I thought, you know what? No, I think I'd rather be an artist because the longevity of it, I can keep that going. I think a
I
little
feel
bit
like
longer.
you could have really good like stage presence. Like I think if you were to like go on tour or something, like I think you'd be really good. Like we're both like crazy people, but you're a lot more willingly outgoing than I am, and I think that would you would really thrive
I love it.
in that way.
Yep. So tell us your thoughts. What do you think? Would you rather be an athlete, a famous athlete, or would you rather be a famous artist? Let us know what you choose and maybe a little reason why. We'd love to read them and listen and see them and find out what you guys would rather do. Would you rather, right? So yeah. Okay. So let's get to us know a little more.
And maybe each other. There's probably a few. We'll probably learn quite a
Oh,
bit
I
about
think
each
we'll be
other in
surprised
this
by
as
a
well.
few things for sure. So, although this first one is a no-brainer for both of us, really. What's your favorite movie?
Oh, mine's Pitch Perfect.
Yeah, I could say that. Now, I want to try and guess which Pitch Perfect it is because there's
Ooh,
obviously three
see,
in the
this
set.
is a well. I'll wait till you answer, and then I'll explain some controversy around my choice.
I'm going to say it's the very first one because I believe I have heard you say that the very first one, the original is always better than any of the sequels that could get made. So, am I right?
No, I have said that though. Like it is true. Like usually original tends to be better, especially for well, it doesn't. I guess not especially, but sometimes like a different director comes on for a sequel or prequel and stuff like that. So like the style changes a bit. But I do think that originals usually are always better because you kind of get all your information and then they're like, oh, let's make another one. And then like my example of that is the Hunger Games. I think the first one, I think they could have stuck with one and done. Like I know there was books for it, but I personally I've never watched the final like two-part movie and I think I watched the second one and I was like, kids, this just got really weird.
Yeah, I don't think I watched them all, finished
Um
the series yet.
like it definitely depends on the series. Like Harry Potter, for example, like each book, it's a huge book and it's so thorough that you can have a movie for each book. And same with like seasons and Game of Thrones and stuff like that. But for me, I think it's the music. Like I really like the music in the third one because it's not that it's more current music, but it was for me. And I just really like kind of what happened there. But any of my classmates, I have one classmate especially, and he gets very mad at me whenever we talk about this. He's like, "No, the first one's the best. The first one is always the best." And I can see why. Like it's definitely my order would be 3, 1, 2. The second one's my least favorite, but I think I like the
Okay.
third one because of the music in it.
Okay.
And maybe I might be biased as well because Anna Kendrick does sing alone quite often in it and she's like my favorite thing ever, so.
Man, that girl can build out a tune. See, you made a liar out of me. Here I was thinking, oh, I had you all figured out. All right. Well, and mine, let's see. Well, obviously, I think there's no surprise. My favorite movie is Harry Potter. And I'm going to let you, Ainsley,
Yeah,
try
I
and figure
know.
out
See,
which
I
one.
know this one. I believe your favorite one is The Prisoner of Azkaban.
That is correct. It is my favorite movie and it is my favorite book. And I could watch, well, I put it on anytime I go to clean my house. I just throw it on the background. I like it because I can run around and I can see it in my head. But by far, that is my most favorite movie and favorite book. But yeah, but as you were saying about Game of Thrones, I really feel, and maybe this wasn't a thing at the time, but they could have made each Harry Potter book like a series.
Yeah.
Like,
I
I
just
think they could
think
have taken every chapter like they did with Game of Thrones and actually made like a 1 hour
yeah,
like episode.
they definitely could have. But I just think that for when the time frame, like the period of time when Harry Potter came out, I don't think TV series like that were much of a thing, anything at all. Like I think a lot of TV shows were either like something crime related or a comedy or like a sitcom. I don't think there was any lengthy like you're in this for an hour serious thing. So I think maybe if they were to do Harry Potter again, like without if it hadn't been made, they probably would do it like that.
Even if they made it into a series now with
Yeah.
completely different cast, I would totally
That'd be
buy
hard
in.
though,
I
because
think that
everyone
would be
has like
fun.
everyone knows who Harry Potter is. Like I think
Yeah.
like it'd be good, but I could see how that'd be hard to do.
Well, but I think that, well, hopefully they would take a different take on it. But anyways, who knows? But
Yeah.
yeah. So, tell us what your favorite movie is. Let us get to know you too. So, what's your favorite movie? What movies do you guys like? Leave it in the comments. Let us know. We'd love to see because we'll obviously debate over them. Like, oh my gosh, yeah, I remember that movie. It was so good. Or oh, we haven't seen that one. We got to put it on our list of
Yeah, I
ones to
haven't seen it,
watch.
but for someone who's in film school, don't come to me with movie questions because I have seen very few movies. I will rewatch a movie.
That's where rewatchers. That's
Yeah.
what we do.
And I'm more of
Stick
a
with what
TV
we know.
show person because they're quick and easy, but I've probably out of like there's 100 people in my class, I would be at the bottom of like most movies watched if we were to be ranked. I would if it was like a self ranking, I'd walk all the way to the end of the line. It's pretty bad,
Love it.
but yeah. What is your favorite movie?
Yep, I agree. Favorite holiday, Ainsley. What's your favorite holiday?
Christmas.
Christmas.
I'm a Christmas lover. Yeah, it's just I think well Christmas is definitely like the longest holiday. Like even though it's only a day
It's
long,
one
but
day.
like there's so much pre parts to
Yes, there's
Christmas.
lots of
Like
lead up to it. I get it.
yeah, like you have your advent calendar, which is 25 days of Christmas essentially, and like there's so much stuff and your Christmas tree and your decorations and
Lots of hype leading up to it.
there's lots of activities that you can do with it. And I don't know. I think last year, in the last 5 years, I've been more excited when Christmas comes around. Last year I wasn't, which was really weird, but yeah, I just love Christmas. I love giving gifts.
Yep. Mine used to be Halloween. I like lived for Halloween, obviously, because I love to dress up. I hardly need an excuse to dress up. Ainsley and I actually, we just worked a golf tournament on the weekend. It was the men's open here where we live. So we volunteered to run the beer cart for the event. And I made Ainsley dress up in more than one outfit. So I don't really need an excuse
Yeah,
to,
we have a lot of costume. Most of our costumes don't even come from Halloween. They come from
they come from
Bonspiel.
curling because there's always a theme with that. But I used to be Halloween, but you know what? Now it is Christmas, and you're right. I think it's because the Christmas season extends, and then I get to see
Yeah.
you. She lives in another province, you know, like we talked about, like 30-hour drive away.
Yeah.
So then
Christmas,
I
like
see
from
you.
now on, Christmas will be like our gathering time. But what is your least favorite holiday? That's not on our list, but because I know what mine is. So what's yours?
You know what mine is, and this is going to be controversial, but I just Valentine's Day. I don't need to acknowledge it. Um, it's just it's not a big thing for me. Like Happy Valentine's Day, great. I don't need a gift. I don't need flowers. Just in the morning, Happy Valentine's Day, but I don't need to make a big to do. We don't need to go out for supper. It's just to me, it's just it's not as big of a day for me. I could go without
Yeah,
Valentine's Day.
I think mine's changing a little bit, but what it used to be and what it still is like at the moment is Halloween, which is like I can remember after I got to a certain age when you actually like start thinking about yourself. I hated going to people's doors. Like I was so self-conscious to go to people's doors and knock on it. Like I'd always be at the back of our little group, and I just would be so self-aware of like the costume I was wearing, even though I'm supposed to be dressed up. Like no one knows who I am, but I just like I love the candy. I'll take that.
Who doesn't
But
love the candy?
I just have never been like a huge fan of Halloween. Although over the past couple years, I've kind of my friends and I have done more things for Halloween, so I've gotten a little bit more into it. But just the trick or treating part, I don't like. But
I could see
I'm
that
not
in
at
you.
that state. Like I don't trick or treat anymore. I haven't in quite a few years. But that was my least favorite. But I kind of agree with like Valentine's Day. I like I don't know who came up with it and well, who came up with anything really. But yeah, what's the? It's just
And to be fair, like when we used to Halloween where we live, you're generally walking through snow. Like
oh yeah,
every caution that you had for your kid, you had to make sure it fit over top of like a full snow or ski suit. Like you, it's she cold.
yeah.
So
It
who
was
wants to really go traipsing around door to
yeah.
door when it's that cold? But hey, when it's for free candy, and we live in a small town, so you're gonna get like the full size chocolate bar. You're gonna get the full can of pop. So listen, like pickings are good,
Oh yeah.
but it is pretty cold here by October
I
31st. So
feel like almost every Halloween that I like participated in when I was younger, like the day of, night before, we'd get our first just downpour of snow. That always seemed to be right around the time where we get our first big
our
thing of
big
snow.
snowfall. Yeah,
So yeah,
that's true.
it
That's
was
true.
always cold.
Yep.
I feel like we maybe I would have liked Halloween more, but we never really did anything for it because we always lived on the outskirts of town where no one came. Like it's weird though because there's like two other roads that are kind of on the outside of town, but people always went there, but just no one ever came down our road. And
Yeah.
especially well, both our houses really. Like our first house, the driveway wasn't long, but you couldn't really see our house from the road. And our second house, you could like it was very far back there.
Yeah.
So, and even I didn't like walking down our driveway in the dark.
Right. No, we did
But
live in a very small little community of like
yeah,
700 people. And we
like
didn't
you would
live like
buy,
in town. We were about a kilometer out. So
you know how you
we
can buy the little packages, a package of chocolate bars that has like 10 little mini chocolate bars? We'd buy one of those and that'd be more than enough for the
yeah,
amount of people that would come to our house.
we
We'd
didn't
get
have
maybe
many.
three people.
Yeah.
Um, Not even our friends would come to our house.
Nope. Well, that's because we were out. We weren't even
Yeah.
home. We were busy trick or treating,
Well, we
man.
would do like the mums would take us right after school.
Yeah.
We would go to the little outskirt roads. They would drive us around, and then in the evening they'd switch, and our dads would take us in town, where they would just like kind of park and watch us walk around town and stuff like that.
Yeah, we did. There were people that in our home in that town that would get like, 70 to 100 kids, and we
And
would
we
maybe
also had the
get like
people that
three.
knew us like personally, and they'd have like an even bigger candy bag made for
Oh,
us.
I remember one of our neighbors, you had coloring books and crayons, and like it was a whole bag of stuff she had for us. And the one year we forgot to go, and she called us up. She was like, "Are you coming for Halloween?" And we're like, "I'm like, get your costume back on." Out the door we run,
Yeah.
which was so thoughtful of this person. Very, very kind and very thoughtful. But yeah, no, yeah, I could, yeah, Halloween, that's good. It's good. It's
Anyways,
good.
moving past our holidays.
All right.
Lots of holidays.
Mm.
I'm sure we'll have some Halloween themed episode. That'd be
Oh,
fun. That'd be really fun.
I may dress up.
She'll definitely dress
I
up.
may dress up.
She'll definitely dress up.
That's what I do.
Anyways. Favorite way to spend the day off?
Oh, favorite way to spend the day off. Well, I mean, in the winter, in the summertime, golf. Love to golf,
Yep.
but just hanging out. Like, definitely not doing housework. It's my favorite thing not to do
Yep.
on a day off. But yeah, just usually hanging out with family or friends. We're real gamers, so just to play a yard game
Not video
or
games. Putting that out there.
oh,
Unless
which
it's like
one?
a Wii game, but we're not like. And my brother and I have never been like video game people. We're just like we're outdoor games, we're
Outdoor
card
people.
games, like physical games, I guess. Unless it's Wii, because the
Yeah.
Wii is amazing.
We're big card gamers too.
Yeah.
So, just to kind of hang out, have your favorite snacks, good tunes on, playing a game of some sort, um, and then just ending it off with maybe a good movie or something, but not just low key. That would be
Yeah.
my favorite day
Yeah, I
off.
would probably
Low
just
key.
like not that I have like days off really, but probably just doing nothing. Like I would just hang around at the house and I'd probably do some things I have to do, but then just watch like YouTube or a show or something and just
Mhm.
chillax for the day. Not even cook. Buy something easy to make.
I would love to
Or
not
like
cook.
order food if we lived somewhere where you could order food.
Wouldn't that be
um
nice? But definitely in the summer, I mean, yeah, if I
yeah,
could golf,
in the summer anything outdoorsy unless
yeah.
it's raining
And I'll
out.
golf more than one round in a day. Trust me. I will get it. I will
Oh,
get in 18, 27, even 36
yeah,
holes.
I
I
think I've
will
done
golf
36 holes before.
until I can't golf anymore, man. We love our golf. We love our
Yeah,
golf.
we really do.
Yeah. What's your go-to on your day off? So what would be your go-to favorite snack? What's your go-to snack?
Probably popcorn.
Yeah.
It's really easy. It's easy to have around. Well, you make like the best popcorn. When we lived in Cranberry, you were like the popcorn queen.
I
You were
am known
known
for my
as
popcorn.
a
So,
popcorn
yeah,
queen.
I'm known for my popcorn. I take it to every event. And I have some gluten-free people, so that's always an easy one. But
Mm,
I
I'm one
have
of those people now.
perfected popcorn, homemade popcorn with like the little whirly pop thingy, the little spigot thingy that you turn it on your stove, and I've got the right amount of oil, I've got the right amount of the butter flavor powder in
Butter
there.
salt.
And one time I bought from a commercial business, I bought like the actual like movie popcorn kernels. I bought 40 kilograms, not even
Wasn't it like
40
a five
pounds.
gallon pail?
40 kgs of popcorn kernels. I had to go to the hardware store and buy two 5-gallon pails. It was bigger than the dog food bag that I would bring home for our large dog. And my husband looked at me like I was absolutely crazy, which I might have been.
But it worked.
Um,
But that's what you would
it
bring
popped
to
up so nice.
any event or like hangout we went to. You brought popcorn.
Always had popcorn. I would take it into work every once in a while,
Mhm.
and then everybody would just stand around my desk, just eating popcorn, just loving me for that popcorn. Listen, you can't go wrong with popcorn. That's
Yeah,
your, yeah.
popcorn's like I just buy the microwavable bags at school because I don't have a whirly pop.
But you know what? I will show you how to use regular kernels and a brown paper bag, and you can
Actually,
make it.
Grandma bought me this little jar thing that you microwave it in, so I'm interested to try that because she sent it to me last year at school, but I had already like I just bought bags of popcorn, so I had enough to like finish me for the year.
Yeah.
But I'm very excited to try that this year, so I'm gonna buy
Ooh,
kernels and like microwave it, and it has a little tray you put on top if you want to melt butter onto it.
cool.
But yeah, popcorn's definitely my go-to snack, like just easy, quick,
It's so good.
tasty.
It's my go-to
I
snack
have
too.
dill seasoning that I put on it sometimes. Like it's yeah.
Yeah, I don't mind putting seasonings on it too, but I just like, but here's the thing, and I'm gonna get a lot of haters for this. I am not a real butter person.
No,
I
I'm
am
not
not
either.
one to get real butter and put it on my popcorn. It just tastes soggy, and I just like that good old artificial butter salt.
Yeah, I'm not a butter almost makes me feel sick.
Yep.
I'd always be like one friend I had, her mom anytime we had a sleepover would make each of us our own individual bowl of popcorn. And I was always like the one person that didn't have butter on mine. It was just salt.
Yeah.
And everyone else would have butter and I was just like, no, it just makes me feel so sick. Even when I
Yeah.
buy the bagged popcorn, I usually don't buy the buttery one just because
Me too.
it's greasy and it just doesn't taste good. So I just get the
Agreed.
salt ones.
Yeah, me too. That for sure, that's my go-to. I love popcorn. You know what? And honest to God, I have made popcorn as our main supper before.
Yep. We have,
I'm
we
just
have
like, I'm
had,
not cooking.
yeah.
Here is 1,000 pounds of popcorn. Y'all just go for it.
Yep.
And we have literally had popcorn for supper before. Um, yeah,
Yeah.
that doesn't give me Mom of the Year points. Definitely in the nutrition
Not nutrition,
area,
but
but in the fun mom,
yeah,
I win it on the fun mom,
I liked it. It
which
was
I
fun.
love. And so yeah, we're big popcorners for sure. What's something that you wish that people knew about you, Ainsley? That you know,
About me,
yeah, what's something people you wish people knew about you?
I don't think there's anything like cool.
Well, it doesn't have to be cool.
I know, but like I'm just saying, like I don't think I have anything cool that I'd be like, oh, like I wish. I think I wish that people understood how I grew up.
Yeah.
Like at school, I tell people, oh yeah, my family owned a fishing lodge. They think it's some fun resort type lodge like they have
Yes.
in the area. I don't think they get the remoteness
We lived
and
on an island. Oh my
yeah.
God, we used to have Rubbermaid containers and we would literally stomp out our
That's how we did it
laundry.
because
Like,
we didn't have a washing machine that
no, we didn't have a
ran.
washing
So
machine,
we
so we
had
put it
one
in a bin.
bucket that had soap in it and you'd stomp around, and then we had another bucket and you'd rinse it out in there, or we'd go down to the lake and rinse it out down there and
We
then
didn't
hang
have
it
hot
all up.
water.
Nope.
We had like gravity fed water. We owned two lodges. The one lodge didn't have hot water, so you always, if you wanted to have any type of hot water for any reason, had to boil it on the
Dishes,
stove.
mopping, cooking,
Right? It
had to
was,
boil it.
it was definitely living off the land. And yeah, I don't think people when they think of a lodge, they think of a
And
resort
like
and
I never
they
try
don't
to
think of the
explain
remoteness.
it because I just think it would take too long for them to really understand
Yeah.
like actually how it worked. So I think that's something I wish that if I told people like, yeah, I actually like I grew up at this lodge, I think I would wish they would just know right away kind of the type of lodge and lifestyle I was talking about. Because
Yeah.
I think it'd be really interesting because I will, most people I go to school with don't even know where Manitoba is, let alone
Right.
where I live.
Yeah.
And so I think that'd be really, I think they kind of look at me different, like in like a interesting way.
Yeah.
I don't think there's like anything like really cool. I could be like, oh, I wish people knew I was a black belt, but I was 10 years old and I don't have any of those skills anymore.
They
So
all out the window now.
yeah, I think that's my, I guess
Yeah.
that'd be my thing. What would yours be?
Oh, what would I like to wish that people knew about me? That I didn't really think about that too much before we started talking about this. That's for sure. Um, I don't know. Probably that, like, I'm way more even though I'm so super sarcastic, I am extremely loving. Like, like sometimes I come off like just a little bit brash and, kind of poke fun at things, but really, deep down, I do love people. Um, I love people and I'm not a horrible person, but like I do like to poke fun and be like like make fun and things like that, but I do mean it and it's coming from a loving place. And yeah, I and the other thing is that I always see situations with rose colored glasses on. I wish people knew that about me so that they wouldn't be kind of look at me sometimes. It's like that's just how I roll. The way you view something and the way that I view something, oh, mine is way different, and it's usually funnier. I'm just saying, how I view situations, they usually pretty funny.
Yeah, I feel
Even
like
when
there's
I was
been quite
giving
a
birth, I can remember giving birth, worst pain in the entire universe. Because also where we live in northern Manitoba, they didn't have
epidural.
epidurals. Then they didn't have anybody to give out epidurals. So listen, my deliveries were as natural as they could be. And I can remember I'm sitting there and I'm trying to push, and there was something wrong with the bed. And every time I go to hunker down and push, somebody that was with me would lean into the bed and it would release the bed, and I would just lay back flat as a board. And you're trying to push, trying to hunker down. And so every time it did that for like almost an hour. And it was just getting ridiculous. They couldn't figure out what was going on with this bed. And I can remember being the throes of it. And it's just like, oh, and I'm just like tired and in pain and I'm mad. And yet there's a little person in the back of my head going, this is going to be pretty funny when you're all done. Like, this is going to be really funny. Like, right in the throes of it, I'm like, oh, yeah, side note, this is actually going to be pretty funny.
I forgot that was you. I was trying to think about that the other day when we were in the hospital when we were
Yeah,
trying
like
to
I
adjust
always
my
see
bed.
things.
I was like, I feel like it maybe it was in a show. I was like, but I feel like I remember someone saying that every time they were like trying to give birth to better, and it was
It was
you.
crazy. It was crazy every time, and everybody's feeling really bad, and different people, and I was trying hard not to swear at people because I know, like, I don't even care what's coming out of my mouth at that point. Um, but yeah, every time I go to push down, it would just be, and I would just be flat as the board, and that's not conducive to spitting out a baby. And it was just like, oh, and
Maybe
yeah,
one day we'll tell you guys my birthing story. And my brother, they're both very interesting.
they'd be
Um,
interesting. Yeah, you know,
yeah, I think that'd be fun to maybe talk about one time. Because
right?
it was a very interesting day for you.
My life is never boring. Never boring. And I think that's one of the things that I love about me too is that I just love to have lots of turns in my road of life. Sometimes I create them, and not on purpose, but there they go. So yeah, I definitely look at life with rose-colored glasses. So don't be offended if something's serious, and I'm laughing
Yeah, she's done
because
that
my
before.
take on it is pretty damn funny. So yeah, that's one thing to know about me that I wish people knew, that just don't judge me because I might be sarcastic and stuff, and maybe a wee bit inappropriate because that's how I view life. Which Ainsley and my whole family and all my friends are totally used to it, and they're just like, that's probably why they hang out with me,
I
really.
like it. I feel like I live a very similar lifestyle, so
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, you do.
yeah.
Yep, you do for sure.
But I'm very much like you. What I really want to do this one because I have a great answer for it.
Okay.
Best compliment you've received.
Ooh, okay, you go for it.
I had someone a couple years ago tell me that I have Ryan Reynolds level humor, and I thought that was the best thing anyone could have ever said to me. And I don't want to like toot my own horn and be like, oh yeah, I do. But I think I'm very quick with things. I always seem to have some sort of like witty or funny comeback or comment on something like just all the time. Sometimes I think it's a little too much, but I always seem to make fun of something. And someone told me a couple years ago that I have a Ryan Reynolds level humor, and that'll forever be like the best compliment ever because he is one of the best like comedic actors out
That is
there.
a nice compliment.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously the go-to is when people compliment me on my kids and how great my kids are.
Yeah, that's
There's
me.
nothing better as a parent
I'm one of
when
those.
you have with that one right there. Yeah, with that one and my son. My son is just an absolute gem too.
Well,
Although
I don't know about that. I'm just
Ainsley
kidding.
might disagree. And, at times he's a bit trying, but overall, I have amazing, amazing kids. So that is a big compliment. But my best compliment, one of the best ones I've ever had, was actually from a guest one time, and I use this all the time now from then on. And they're coming up from the States. They're doing a fishing trip, so they're on vacation and stuff like that. And I think they came out with a request. This person was from the South somewhere and had a bit of an accent. And I remember he looked at me one day and he's like, Jennifer, you just have yourself a can do attitude. And it was really funny at first. He's like, you just, and I'm thinking, well, first of all, yeah, do you want me to have a can don't attitude while you're on vacation? Like, the customer's always right, all that kind of stuff. But it just kind of resonated with me that it just makes me nice to think that people think that I do have a can do attitude. That
Oh,
I'm
you
just
definitely do.
always,
You
yeah,
always
let's pick it
have
up.
a like even if there isn't a solution, you're gonna do your best to find a
We'll
solution.
figure it out, right?
And you
And
won't. And you said this the other day when we were helping at the golf course that the crazier and more stressful things get, the calmer she gets
the
in a
calmer I get,
situation, which is an
yeah,
amazing talent to have.
right?
To not get worked up in it and still be able to function, which is
No,
probably because of the lodge and stuff like that. Like
I think it is because of Lodge.
you,
Like the,
that
yeah,
probably got ingrained into you, like just on your own doing that.
yeah,
Life's hectic, but you need to be able to get things done and stay calm. And
yeah.
I think your can-do attitude helps with that.
I just have myself a can-do attitude. Yes, I do.
Yeah.
And I say that all the time because I'm like, oh, yes, absolutely. Got a can-do attitude today. I think maybe there's only been like one time in my life I had a can-don't attitude. But yeah, so that was a really nice compliment that it doesn't seem like much, but it just feels good, when people recognize that because first of all, what I was doing, it's pretty stressful. You're just from the moment you wake up till you go to bed when you're running a lodge, you're just go, 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 go. So it was nice when someone like recognized that, like, yeah, I have a can-do attitude. We'll always figure it out. Always. We'll always
Always.
figure it out. Don't stress.
Always, always, always.
Always figure it out. I love it.
Yep. Well, I think that's about it for this one.
I think we've let the people know.
Yep. I hope if you guys have answers to those questions,
Yeah,
please
definitely.
let us know and tell us why.
Yep. Leave
And
them in
I'll
the
tell you
comments.
why you're wrong. I'm just kidding.
And
But
whatever
I
you
think,
do, I'll see it in rose-colored
yeah,
glasses. That's for sure.
that is true. But I think next week, I think we'll talk a little bit about our film festival activities.
Ooh.
And I think next week we'll also bring up, as Mel mentioned last week, the colonoscopy escapades.
A medical procedure.
Because it was a lot different than I was expecting, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll bring it.
First of all, I should mention Ainsley is fine.
Yeah, I'm
It was
nothing's
all
wrong.
good, good bill of health. But
I went through all that for not much really.
no, but it was good. It's for
Yeah,
peace of
no,
mind. It's
it was
good.
good to know.
Yep.
But there were some,
It
yeah.
was kind of funny, especially when I'm not the one that had to go through it. So we'll talk about that. I'm so excited to talk
She
about
didn't have to go
Gimli.
through it, but she went through some things during it, and that'll be funny to talk about.
Yeah. But yeah, and I'm really excited to talk about the Gimli Film Festival, the International Film Festival, because I've just been waiting to talk about that. It was
She's
just,
been telling everyone we can.
don't know if you can tell what our take is on it, if we liked it or not.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm really excited to talk about that too. Cool beans. I love it. All right. Well, thanks for listening to Second Saturday, the podcast.
Be sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell if you're on YouTube, and if you're on Spotify, follow and like. I should probably figure out how that works so I can tell you the correct information. But I'm
Right.
pretty sure that's how that works.
Just all the stuff, just do it.
Yeah. And
Just do all the stuff.
I'm assuming by the time we have posted these, we'll probably have a little TikTok and YouTube shorts going.
Fun.
Check it all out. It'll be fun.
Check it out.
Anyways, bye.
Ciao.